Is there anything that you have seen? Because I believe what you just read is connected to the repercussions from economic contraction, high unemployment among white population, and the historical tendency for populist movements of where blacks and whites come together to be disruptive because of economic competition. Do you see any of these things as being integral to what you just talked about with the first black president?
Yes. In Written Judgments, Volume 1 in 1988, we wrote this. It says, I will bring judgment upon the banking institutions, and you will see entire insurance companies fold overnight. Now, when this happened with AIG, my phone started ringing and saying, look back at this prophecy.
If I may interrupt you, the insurance that you spoke of, the thing that brought down Wall Street were things like credit default swaps, derivatives, which is a form of risk management and insurance.
Wow, that's interesting. You know, you're giving me an education. And this is powerful. This is what it says. It will be the day of a great crossover. I will change the money. When I was writing this, I was saying change the money, and a new currency will surface in the marketplace. It will be slowly released into the economy in the day the dollar will become very weak. But in this same hour, men will take hold of a new currency that will emerge in years to come. And then it said, watch the coins. And I just thought it was interesting that all of a sudden we started seeing this gold coin slowly being released in the day that the dollar has become very weak, insurance companies collapsing overnight, and I believe that we're getting ready to see a great change.
They have also, the mint has stopped producing gold coins.
Wow.
You didn't see that one coming, huh?
No, a lot of things I didn't see coming. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here.
I guess. Well, that's a good point.
The last train from Yuma.
Yeah. Now, racial tensions in here. In Written Judgments, Volume 3, 1996, it says, I will bring about an anointing that will bring men into focus, and a new level of light will come to the nation at large. The days of racial tension shall increase, and you will see the ugliness of this sin magnified more and more. In the midst of this struggle, a major voice will be eliminated in a day. It will be known as the season of chaos. My hand shall be quite visible, yet my doings shall appear strange in thine eyes. The oppressed people of that day will cry and lament because a hero will be taken off the scene. Now, there's this prophecy and the prophecy about 2010, which I am very concerned about.
Are you going to tell us what the 2010? Because I have a couple of questions when you do.
Oh, Jesus. Y'all, we are out here today, aren't we? Let me find this in the book here.
2010.
2010. This prophecy, because someone had asked me the question about this, and
last week on the Open Line show, I think.
Yes, it was last week on the Open Line.
Yeah, by the way, some people, oh, you got it? Okay, yes. I was about to drop something, but go ahead.
And here it says, now come see the proclamation of your Lord. There shall be a large homegoing in the year 2010. I saw the eyes filled with water, and America was shaken. For her eyes were plucked out in this season, and she mourned the loss of he who brought forth her vision, and America wept, for now she was blind, saith the Lord. Now, if I can say something about prophecy, when the Spirit reveals something, it can be interrupted. God revealed things to us so that we can pray, make intervention, and head it off. And I think one of the things is that when we looked in the White House during the
inauguration,
during President Reagan,
Okay.
when Nancy Reagan brought an astrologer in, and the astrologer says something interesting. It says, fate has dealt the hand, but the astrologer told him how to play it. And I think what we are seeing is that they knew something was pending, but they were working around the clock, behind the scene, a group of astrologers that help to maintain the security of a government. So I'm saying that in this hour, we need to get individuals that are seers in place, individuals that are prophets, seers, that can begin to do intervention.
Interrupt.
Exactly.
To interrupt. Can you interrupt prophecy? Can you interrupt what is foreordained?
Well,
Can you interrupt destiny.
Most
You have
definitely.
predetermination. I mean, that's free will.
Exactly.
Well,
if you can't interrupt, then there's no free will.
All right, can I ask this question here? All right, based on what you were saying here, now, I have this fear, and I've discussed this only with a few close people. I wouldn't tell Cut is close to me. I wouldn't tell Pickett. I wouldn't tell Slade.
And you're going to tell the whole radio audience?
I'm going to tell right now because you're here, and I'm feeling pretty safe. I have this fear of Obama, and some people will say, "Oh yes, I have that fear too. What's different?" I have this fear of Obama being assassinated. I have this fear, and what you just read there, to me, and this tears welling up in people's eyes and different things, I just put it to that, and I said maybe that's what is going to come, maybe that's what is going to happen. Do you feel that?
Let me, if I may,
Yes.
before you answer. I think prophecy can be literal. It can be symbolic. To me, the idea, the eye is on the dollar bill. Okay, I believe that what these tears will be brought about, and you may be correct, Peter, but I don't. That's not what I'm dealing with. What I'm dealing with is the change of the currency, the breakup of the American Federation, the default by the U.S. government on its treasuries and foreign debt. These are the things that will cause everyone to cry. There are people that would rejoice in assassination. But please continue, Prophet.
Yes. There's a prophetic word in here concerning the dollar, and it talks about the dollar falling. And I believe the thing that we need to begin to see, here it says the new currency in Written Judgments, Volume 3, on page 38, 1996, this was written. I was surrounded by a sound of laughter, which sounded, snide, and mocked the faces of men. I looked and saw the currency laughing within the earth. There was a great scurrying, and the dollar began to fall, and the nations around the earth began laughing at those who were selling large sums of items to salvage their investments. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, a new currency shall come into the picture that will bring tears unto nations, and commerce will change before your eyes.
Absolutely correct.
Right here written.
Because the dollar is being propped right now. All right, but if the dollar were to fall, it's at 85 something, the dollar index. If it were to fall into the 60s, there would be massive defaults around the world because the United States government would not be able to meet its obligations, and all the cash, all of the savings, all of the 401ks, all of the hard assets that Americans hold would be valueless.
Yes.
And we would be at the whim of not military invasion but an economic invasion.
Getting ready for martial law. Are you ready for this? Here we go. In Written Judgment, it talks about merging military forces, and then it talks about the dollar loses its power. I'll get right to the dollar loses its power because of time. The season of intense technology shall be upon the land. You will see military forces merging in an attempt to gather more strength.